Hello everybody, thanks for joining me again. Come up onto Dartmoor just to do some woodland photography today, and I'm going to be walking downstream along the River Dart to see what I can find. But before I do, I thought this week I'd talk to you a bit about camera bags and my experience over the last 2 years of vlogging on YouTube, what I carry and what works for me. So, where do I start? I'll start simple. When I first started, all I had was my own small rucksacks. I had this small day bag and I had this little satchel, almost sling bag, and obviously buying a camera is quite expensive, so to start with all I did was put my camera in a sling bag, and that's all I started with, and really quite adequate for going out on days. I can get my camera with a lens on in there with some batteries and some filters, or I can carry the camera and have an extra lens in here, and if I'm just wandering around, that's quite a nice little bag. And then I progressed on a little bit. I thought, well, I need a little bit more protection for the camera, so tucked away in this bergen, so I bought myself just a cheap insert to go inside this bag, which as you can see will fit quite nicely in there and still have room for some other things, but not ideal because obviously you have to take it out to get into your camera gear like so, but it did offer some protection. And this I still use today. It's quite versatile for carrying stuff, and I'll explain what I do with it now a little later. Okay. So then I started making trips up onto Dartmoor quite regularly and needed a bigger camera bag, so I invested in this Lowepro Flipside 300. I've had this about 2 years now, and I still use this as my main camera bag. As you can see, as the flip side suggests, it's back opening, plenty of room for your camera. Only got a few things in here at the moment because most of the camera gear is in these inserts at the moment. But as you can see, lots of pockets for batteries and stuff. You can reconfigure the inside to fit your camera and different lenses. Now I use this in different ways. If I'm taking out the small lenses, this is my 16mm Sigma, and maybe my 300mm, I'll put both of those in here with my camera here. Or if I'm now taking my 200 to 600mm lens, I can reconfigure this and actually fit the whole lens and camera body fitted the length of this bag, but it doesn't leave much room for anything else, which I'll come on to. So this is still a very good bag. So if I'm travelling up onto Dartmoor or any other day trip, then this is still quite a good bag if the weather's good. There's a rain cover in the bottom if you need it, but as I get more camera gear, there's less room for anything else. Even if I want to take my jacket off and stow it somewhere, there's very little space here. What I end up doing is normally strapping it to the top using these side clips. But a good bag. Also, I can fit my tripod on the back here. There's a purpose-made pocket at the bottom here, and a clip at the top to hold it on. So yeah, there you go. There's the tripod on the bag. Fits nicely into this pocket at the bottom here, and then you can clip it on the top here, and that's quite neat and tidy and fits on your back quite comfortably. One disadvantage I have found of having the tripod here, when you try to put the rain cover over, it doesn't fit over the bag with the tripod in place, so you then have to carry the tripod separately, which isn't great. So far this is still my main go-to bag. However, I am moving on. So what do you do when you've got all the camera gear in the bag and you've got nowhere for anything else like waterproofs, warm clothes, and what if you go camping or you need even more room? Well, that's what I'm now progressing on to. So winter won't be far away, or at least autumn, as I'm doing some woodland photography today. What am I going to do in the winter on Dartmoor? Do I buy another camera bag, which is expensive? So you can look at things like Shimoda, or the bigger brothers of these Lowepros that have waterproof compartments and maybe a little bit more room for your gear. However, they are very expensive. This bag was about £90 when I bought it, and if I go for the size of bag that I really want, then we're talking £300 to £400. So I was looking for some alternatives. So then I came across a video by Morten Hilmer. Those of you who are into your wildlife photography will probably know who he is. A Danish photographer, and he specialises in Arctic conditions. So Morten uses bags like me, like this Lowepro, but also some bigger hiking camera bags that he can use in the Arctic and carry all his gear. But what he also has from his experience in the military is some ex-army bags. Now his are mostly Scandinavian, but I decided to give a good old British Army bergen a go. So I purchased this from a surplus supplier, and this is a 90-litre bag if you include the two side pockets, which currently I'm not using. On its own, the centre section here is 70 litres, which is more than enough. Now already when I take this out, it's more comfortable on my back just due to the decent shoulder straps and this belly strap here, and also there's a aluminium frame inside which helps support the whole bag and spread the weight across your back and shoulders. Anyway, this cost me the princely sum of £56, and it's quite an old and used bergen, but still plenty of use in it. I'm yet to see how good this is going to be out on a long walk across Dartmoor in the pouring rain, but we'll see. So let's show you a bit about this bag. So just on the outside there's a large pocket at the front which you can put things like water bottles in or anything you like. At the top is straight away a zip pocket here, which you know, you can stash stuff like a seat pad, or your waterproof will fit in there, anything you want to get to quickly. Then inside, if I open this up, there's a big lid to this, and inside there's another large pocket, so plenty of storage space even before you get into the bag. Then what I've done is use inserts inside. Now as you can see, this is going to be quite waterproof just on its own. So I'll open up the main section, and what I have in here is firstly this timber insert, which just by opening the top I can open just the top of this and get straight to my camera. And as you can see, I've got quite a lot of gear in here. So let's have a quick look at this timber bag. Opens quite nicely, although the zip goes all the way around. you can just open the top bit and get straight to the camera, which I like. Or if you take it out of the main bag, you can open the whole thing, and then of course you're in. And as I said, I've got my main camera with the 16-55, the 350mm lens, the 3 main filters I use, some cleaning equipment and microphones. So to be honest, that and a tripod, and I've got probably everything I need. Now that on its own will fit in lots of different bags, and for most people that is their camera gear, so not a bad idea. What I've also got in here is this small bag I showed you earlier. Now I use this now for my extra video gear, so in here at the moment I've just got my GoPro and the Pocket 2 that I'm filming on goes in here as well. So I know which bag to go for depending on what I want. And lastly, and the reason this bag is now so important to me, I have my 200 to 600mm lens, and again that fits down the side here really easily. So let's just quickly load that back up again. As you can see, it won't take long. Obviously having the back opening bag is easier than this, but this is no real hardship. So let's just clip it back up again. So being 70 litres, it is quite a big bag, but you do have these compression straps all down the side, which firstly you can slide your tripod in or anything else you want, but also that tightens the bag up and stops it sliding around. So a little bit of setup needed, but really pleased with this, and at £56 a bargain. Okay, I think I'll end the video there. Hopefully this has given you something to think about when it comes to camera bags. I'm no expert, and obviously this is just my own experience, and I'm hoping this will see me through this winter and be a good addition to all my gear. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I'll see you all again next week. But for now, cheerio.